Okay, here we go. I need my remote. So we can listen to music on Dan and Phil Beats. I should have maybe thought ahead and went live from my iPad so I could use the phone to text people that I'm live. Okay, hold on. It's so loud. Okay, Dan and Phil Beats. Because if you didn't know, you are allowed to use Dan and Phil's beat content as background music in your stuff. So that's fun. Okay, tell me if that's too loud. I need to make my to-do list. We have one viewer. Who's here? Send me a chat so I can see. Oh wait, is the chat hidden? Okay, I think it's good. Let me know if that's too loud. It's kind of loud in the room. Here comes Sammy. Come here. You wanna say hi? Can you see him? Can you see him? There he is. Hey, Sammy. Oh, you're gonna just chill with us? Okay. So my goals for today are I want to get more done on the Fursona Plushie I'm making. I want to do more on the pre-made fursuit head that I'm working on for MFF. And what else am I doing? Maybe do some quilting. I have like a whole project I'm working on that's like gonna be pieced by hand, English paper piecing, and it's also going to be quilted by hand, just as like a project for myself to be like, you can do this. But we're gonna start, these are my goals. We're gonna start with the Fursona Plushie and then maybe move to doing the pre-made head. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for. Oh, okay, so my mom is only gonna be my fan for until 1 p.m. to watch football, but she's still my most valuable member. But yeah, actually I can use this to show my, do I have blue sky on here? Yes, I do. I can show the love your purple skirt. Thanks, I made it for a cosplay for that shooting star sweater that I'm selling. But I should probably you know what I realized? I had the same haircut as the character that wears that shirt before we got married, and then when we got married I cut all my hair, and then I never took nice pictures of the cosplay. So maybe I should do that and use that as like the promotion pictures. Hold on one moment. I need to pull up my reference. It's another app where the iPad just has it displayed as a phone screen. Let's see. Okay. Save image. Will it not let me do that? I guess I can take a screenshot. And now this thing is running low on battery. Here's baby. Just out of frame. Yeah, I went for like an actual outfit today. Hey baby. Kid. I went for an actual outfit. I filmed a video just like chatting and spinning some yarn. What am I allowed to unplug? That won't be a problem. I'm not spinning right now, so I'll unplug that. Okay. Done. Save the photos. Go to my photos. I want to get going in a second here. Okay. So this is the reference I'm working off of. It's a bunny, I believe. And so far I have made, hold on a sec, let me get everything out. I've made the base of the head. I've made the base of the body. And when I say base, I just mean I'm gonna have to do some like embroidery later and sew stuff to it. I have an extra piece that doesn't belong in there. And then I need to double check which one is which. I have arms and legs completed. And then the piece I was working on, which actually looks like it's about done, is the little tail. And I don't know where my scissors went. Here we go. But yeah, the tail is pretty much done. I haven't made a Fursona plushie in a really long time, and I want to do more. So here's this tail. And what's next? I had a little checklist. Okay. Ears and snout, cheek fluffs. The tail I just did, so I can check that off. The eyes I have right in front of me, so I can probably add those right now, actually. Hi, Saha and Chelsea. You're getting glasses this weekend? That's exciting. Is it like your first time having glasses, or you're getting like new glasses? But you've already had them. Here's the eyeballs. And I need the headpiece. This is, I like doing the Fursona plushies because I have made the same base pattern so many times that I can do it pretty much memorized. So like I don't even need to check where the eyes go. I'm just like, yeah, they go on this row about there. Cute. And I picked the right size the first time, so that's helpful. Because it would not be fun if I picked the wrong size and then put them on and then couldn't get them off. So there's that. And I can put the eyes away. Oh gosh, it doesn't want to close. I had a bunch of different boxes for eyes, like each size was in its own thing. And I just recently put them all into one container, and it's really nice. It's like helpful, because especially if you're freehanding something and you don't know what size you want to put on it, you can try a couple before you actually attach them. It's your first time. Well, congrats. I just remember when I go to get glasses, which honestly I should be wearing mine right now, but they're upstairs. When I go to get glasses, where's my cat? I thought my cat was over there. She's up. But when I go to get them, or like when I get my eye exam, I was always nervous to say like I can't tell the difference. But apparently, who would have thought that's important to tell them? If you get if you can't tell the difference between two of the like options, you're supposed to tell them that you can't tell and not just randomly pick one, which I did for a lot of my childhood. But now that I like actually tell them that, I got a prescription that works. Chelsea, can I get one? What? Can you get a wave? I can wave. Josephine, hello. And Saha also said hello again. I don't know if you can see this. He's like barely out of frame. I brought some of my like favorite plushies I've made downstairs to like chill during the stream. This guy has like a little potion and some keys and leaves, and he's very cute. I love this guy. This is one of my favorite things I've designed. It's a dragon. Right. Add Q&A sticker. Sure. Oh wait, no, not the favorite pen. How do I go back? I failed my eye exam, that's why I'm getting classes. Well, it's less that you like failed the test and more that like they've found that you need the help with the lenses. But I'm glad that you are getting something to help you. So cute, thank you so much. Okay, so let's see what's next. What am I gonna do? I want to do something, I want to do like the smaller things just to like get them done a little quicker. You can see he has like a little, actually I don't know their pronouns, but they have a little bit of cream on their snout and a bit of cream on their belly, so I think I'm going to work on that. So I got my cream yarn over here, which I actually got this yarn by accident. It was one of those things where you think it's white in the store and then you get it and it's not. But luckily the like reference on here, it's not like pure white, it's cream, so I can use that. So yeah, I'm gonna just do a really simple little, it's not really an oval. So I think I'm gonna start with a circle and then I'll add a little like picot. This character, because it's like a bunny, it doesn't have a plastic nose that I'm gonna add. So I'm gonna see if they want me to stitch the little like V on there. But for now, I'm just gonna do something like, let's see. I'm trying to make it so that it has a little bit of like bumps on it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but the character reference has it so that they are not like a perfect circle. It's not a perfect circle on here, so something like that. So you can kind of tell, like, I don't know if you've seen like a dog where the marking goes like up their snout a little bit and then around their mouth. So that's kind of that shape. Yeah, I think that that is a good size, so I'm gonna cut that there. And again, I don't know if they want me to stitch on it just yet, so I'm gonna just put that to the side and get the body out so we can estimate the belly patch. And I think once we do the belly patch, we can start sewing some stuff together. So here's the little body. I need to get some stuffing over here. I don't think I have any within reach. But I'm gonna do just like a similar thing to how I did the snout, and I'm gonna like start with a circle and kind of build it into an oval shape. And yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this is called crochet. It is similar to knitting, but it's different. What's the easiest way to explain this? So knitting, you usually would have 2 needles, and crochet, you have one of these tools, which is just called a hook. Mine is like a fancy ergonomic one with rubber on it so it doesn't hurt my hand, because I crochet a lot, like way more than most people. But yeah, I crochet all the time. I crocheted so much that I like accidentally started a business selling crochet because I was making so many things that I didn't need to keep. Okay, let's see here. To make it an oval, you have to like add more stitches on opposite sides and then keep the same number of stitches going around on the other sections. So I want to try that. The Fursona plushies are fun too because it kind of has the same vibe as like doing a puzzle, where I have to figure out like how everything's gonna fit together and how to make the different colors go where they're supposed to go. Which, because some people's Fursonas are very complicated. This one was not too complicated, so I just charged them like the base rate. But I've done some where they have asked for gradients. I've done some where they have like hairstyles. But yeah, I do have some examples on my website if you want to check that out. Let's see. That might be big enough. Where's my body? Where's my body? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Little belly. And I gotta leave room to attach it when I sew it. Does anyone in the chat follow Dan and Phil? Because I'm still like, well, you can hear, but I'm listening to Dan and Phil beats as the background, but I'm also just like constantly going back and watching their older videos now. Because ever since they announced that they were in a relationship, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy for them, but also like, I just like going back and like, it's like a comfort show basically. I'm gonna grab some stuffing real quick. Don't go anywhere. You can babysit my dragon, okay? I'll be right back. Y'all, I thought I had stuffing upstairs, but I didn't, so I had to go into the basement, and I got this huge cloud, so I don't have to go back down anytime soon. But yeah, I'm gonna start by stuffing the body piece, and then I'll sew this on, and then we can arrange the tail and arms and legs on it. And then maybe do some embroidery. We could get this closer to done today. When I'm stuffing it, I just kind of like push out towards the outside to make sure it like fills it out nice and full. And then now I need a needle to sew stuff on. Does anyone in the chat crochet, or like, do you know anyone that crochets? I know my mom does, but I don't know if she's still here because she said she was gonna go watch football. Excuse me. I have water here. My partner likes to try different like alcoholic drinks, and then in my quest to become less rigid in my eating habits, I will like try like a sip of them sometimes. And today he had me try a like cherry limeade thing, and it was disgusting. So I got a fresh full bottle of water, and I will not be having any more of that drink in the future. Okay, let me see if I can get this closer to where I'm stitching. If I can like prop this up so you can see what I'm doing here. Kind of like going around the outside and coming back up on the inside of the piece. Sometimes I use pins for this step, but I also find it not too hard when it's a simple shape to just hold it in place and work around the outside. There's also a method where you can like do a few stitches at the critical points first, and then go back around and do the other areas. But yeah. I've had to keep an eye on my cats lately because they're still, I've had Sammy now for about a month or so, and he and Baby are still learning how to get along. And sometimes he's a little stupid and he doesn't realize that, like, if Baby is growling, it means you need to, like, give her some space. And then he gets a little smack. But I think he's doing better than he was. And they were able to chill on the same bed together today. Not like the same cat bed, but like they were just chilling on the same people bed. But yeah, I've kind of been focusing on finishing up my whips recently. I don't know how many like work in progress projects you all have, but I have so many. I luckily was able to finish one that I owed somebody. Like, they had ordered a sweater and they realized later that the sleeves were too short, so they had me lengthen it, and I was just having such a hard time motivating myself to do it. And I finally like had a day with my friends where we all were just sitting down and working on something we needed to get done. Like, one of them was working on Christmas gifts, and I think the other one was making like an embroidery piece just for themselves, but it was something they had been meaning to work on and they hadn't yet. So we all got a little bit done. I got that sleeve lengthened because I had done the one sleeve and I just needed to do the second one, and now that's done. I don't have to worry about it. I gave it to the coworker that it was for. I actually left it at her desk because she wasn't in that day. None of this. I want Danafil beets. Or, here's what we can do. We can go to the Yellow Cherry Jam channel because I really like their lo-fi music. They are focused on making like non-AI content, and specifically non-AI, so they make a video I think about every month or so, or every couple weeks, and they go to these really pretty locations and just make like a cozy little video. And then Yell, who is the like musician, they make a track to go with the video, and it's just very, very chill. And I like to have them on while I work, and also just like at work as well, because I want to support non-AI content, because I don't like AI. Hopefully that doesn't get like tagged as something when I say it, like tagged in the live stream, and then something happens to me. But yeah, so I have the belly patch on, I have the tail on, and then what I like to do is to secure it, I'll take like two tails of two separate pieces and I'll just tie them in a square knot at the neck opening. And then you can cut these off. Sometimes I just shove them inside the stuffing because it is just like more fluff. But for now, just to keep it a little neater, I'm gonna leave it not hanging out at the top. Now I have to figure out which of these are the legs and which are the arms, which is a little difficult because they all look similar. I win over the Ravens. But yeah, so the legs are like very slightly larger than the arms, but they still need some stuffing. And this is one where, again, I'd be more likely to put a pin, but it's so simple and I've made them so many times that it's like I don't always do that. So here's the arms. I think I might do the arms last just because it's a little easier for me to get at them after the legs are on, as opposed to trying to get at the legs after the arms are on. They're very little. little pieces. That's the arms. Here's the legs. I need to stuff these. Speaking of stash busting, I actually did stash bust a bunch of my like yarn ends and clippings when I made stuff for my markets. But then of course you're always making more. And for a while I was making like a bunch of sweaters and stuff. And where's my needle? Depending how many like sweaters you use or how many different, did I say how many sweaters you use? How many colors you use and how many like yarn ends you make. They can make a lot of scraps. Where did my needle go? This is frustrating. It's not on my skirt. Is it in this? No. Where did we put it? Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna stand up and then it's gonna be right where I'm sitting. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna start with the legs. And I do the same thing with these where I just sew on 2 pieces and then tie them together at the top, at the neck opening, and then cut the extra off. Like to position these, I'm just gonna like put them right there because he's sitting. I'm hoping to be able to get this done within the week. I think that's entirely doable. My turnaround time is a month, but when I actually have like a full day to focus on something like this, I could get it done in a full day if it's simple enough. And this one is fairly simple. Plus, like I said, I had already made most of the pieces, and today is a lot of assembly and decoration. I still have to make the cheek fluff pieces. There's like a hair fluff piece and some ears. But I like getting like the bottom of the body all assembled, and then I focus on the head, and then once they're both fully like put together, everything is sewn on, then I sew the head onto the body, and that hides all of these like tails and stuff on the inside. But I also finished filming a spinning related video today with this stuff. It's wool combined with silk, which I had never tried spinning before, and fortunately, unfortunately, I liked it a lot. It's just really fun, and it's shiny, which like for ADHD brain is like, ooh, shiny. But I might have to get some more like silk blends in the future. I don't know that I want to spin just silk because 1, that's going to be pretty expensive, and 2, it's pretty slippery. I like it because it's shiny, but I don't like the idea of having to like have a death grip on the fiber while I'm spinning it. But yeah, fun fact about me, I'm a left-handed spinner. I'm right-handed for anything else, but I draft with my left hand, which is another reason why I want to spin more, because I feel like it's good for your brain to do stuff with your non-dominant hand. Little legs, la, 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 la. And then little arms. And then let's see, I might be able to like flip the camera when I do the embroidery part, although it looks like there's only a little bit of it on the legs and the shoulders, and then a little above the tail. So we'll see what happens. What's everyone up to today? Are you cleaning your room? Mom. Which is like, I don't think most people say that. Like, Mom, did you clean your room today? It's like the other way around. But yeah, I gotta do some cleaning up later today, but I figured I'll be a bit more creative in the morning when the light is out so I can stream and film a video. If anyone has video ideas, feel free to let me know. I want to know what you want to watch. Like challenge ideas or even just like topics to talk about. But yeah. I feel like I haven't done a live stream in a while, maybe like a couple months. I think I did one when I was in Florida back in August? I don't know. I don't remember. I think that's when I was working on that little felt sheep. Yeah. I need to go see a sheep sometime soon. I saw alpacas. I need to go see a sheep. There was alpacas at the Alpaca and Fleece Festival in Maryland, which is where I live. And my friend got to feed them and was just having like the time of her life. They gave her like a whole Ziploc bag full of food, and then the alpacas are just like tickling your little hand. Okay, so here's the body with the pieces attached. I'm gonna get my darker color if I can find that. Hello? There is a dark, oh, here it is. Darker color, and I'm going to do the embroidery. I don't need that long of a thread because they're pretty small. But yeah, let me see if I can turn this so you can I'm doing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, sewing with Bob videos, a million of them. We will definitely do that, but you need to finish cleaning your kitchen so you're allowed to come over. Okay, let me see. I don't know if this angle's gonna be easy to see, but I see on here that the back of the tail, there's like a little triangle shape going upward. Oh, and of course it's wanting to pull the stuffing out. Get out! So I'm just gonna like sew up like that. Can you see? Can you see it? Just do a few stitches going upward. Like a little triangle. And then I think what I'm gonna do next are the shoulder markings. Okay, let me do one more. We're gonna do one more stitch just to kind of even it out because it didn't look super even. There we go, that's better. Okay, the legs have a kind of like a circular pattern on the upper thigh. So I gotta first come out on the leg. And then make a little circle. And I'm gonna do a back stitch just because that way once it's done, I know it's done. As opposed to doing a running stitch and then having to go over it again. Okay, and then go back in the body. Can you see it? It's like a slightly darker gray in a circle. And then the other upper thigh. reference what I did on the other side and try to like mirror it. My mom and I did say we want to try to do a like teaching me how to smock and how to do silk ribbon embroidery video. So if that's interesting to you, please let me know and we can try to do them sooner rather than later. What's next? Okay. Upper shoulders also have little circles, so we're gonna go up here. I was like kind of nervous that this was gonna be like not like difficult, but like I was nervous that it was gonna break my brain to try to do this, but I'm okay. I'm doing good. Okay, so there's that one. Go back in the body. I might have put like the exact amount of yarn as I needed to do this particular design. Come on, there you go. Okay. And then again, I'm just referencing what I did on the other side. Making a little circle. There's like a piece of blue thread in here. Get out of there. He not blue. Get out. Get out. Okay. Sometimes the stuffing tries to poke out too and I have to just be like, get back in there. Okay, and now that that's done, we're gonna just tie it again. I don't usually make plushies for like kids and especially not babies, but I do find that like tying stuff and like having the knot on the inside really does help with like peace of mind that like it's not gonna be pulled off or anything like that. Even if it came loose, it wouldn't come all the way off because it's tied to the other string, you know? But yeah, there's the back and the little circles on the top. And what is next? I think maybe we should sew the snout onto the head, which means I need to stuff the head, which again, I'm just going to use these extra bits of yarn too because they're fluffy. And put this in there. That's another thing that I think some people don't realize is that crochet plushies are usually stuffed pretty firmly because they're usually for display and not super often for like cuddling or like little kids, like I said. Why are you nervous? You've made a zillion of these. Well, because I want to get it right for the person that ordered it. This is what I look like right when I wake up. Okay, so here's this. I'm going to cut the extra off the back. I have more like Fursona plushies and even like Five Nights at Freddy's plushies upstairs. I'm wondering if maybe I should try to stream in front of the wall of my personal plushies sometime, so people can see the ones that I have. Okay, but here is the snout. Trying to like keep it centered. And then sometimes I split a stitch into 2 steps instead of doing it all at once, just to make sure it goes exactly where I want it. And that's what I did there. It's like halfway on. I'm using a bent tip needle, which I didn't like put in my kit on purpose. I had it from somewhere, but it actually is pretty helpful for getting the needle tip to come back out of the fabric. It's just not super sharp, and when I sew plushies together, I try to go through the fibers and not just through the holes, because I think it makes the holes like not as visible, but it also just like is a bit stronger of a connection. We're almost done attaching the little snout piece. Okay. I'm not sure I like how that happened. Let me see if I can finagle it into being what I like. I think maybe once I put the stitching on, it'll look a little nicer. Here's that, and then another little bit of yarn to do the embroidery for the nose. For a while, when I was taking like drawing commissions for furries, I had a really difficult time just trying to get out of the style of the reference and make it in my own style. And something that I found helped me was try to draw the animal and then make it like the markings of the reference, because for some reason I was just so focused on like, oh well, he looks exactly like this, or he has this expression. It's like, no, the character can do other things. Just do your best. Okay, I'm gonna tie these off. Oh, this is another thing I do, is if there's 3 strings instead of 2, I'll just tie 2 to 1. It doesn't really affect all that much. And I'm gonna leave this one long because in case they want me to add a little like mouth to it, it's still the same color attached. There's a little bunny nose. And then let's see, cheek fluffs, that's gonna be fairly quick. Hook, where my hook? Where my hook? Where hook? There hook, okay. These are easy because they're basically just 2 little triangles. So I just make a slightly taller stitch as I go, and then I just chain some more and make another larger triangle with a larger stitch. Like that, and that's how you do a cheek fluffy. Scissors, yes. And I need to make one for the other side. Now for the hair, I'm not exactly sure what they might like, so I'm gonna have to ask and maybe not do that on the stream. But sometimes I do like brushed hair, like fluff. Sometimes I do crocheted hair, like a little piece, kind of like how these are. And sometimes, I think one time I've used fur fabric. But there's the other cheek fluff. I'm gonna check that off, and I'm gonna put those in my bucket since I'm not sewing them on just yet, so I can keep track of them. Snout is done. Cheek fluffs are done. hair floof, ears, and embroidery. Well, I started the embroidery, but it's not really done yet until the ears are done. So to make the ears, it looks like they are light gray on the outside with white floof and pink on the inside. We haven't used pink, so I might do white as the base, gray as the other side, and then I'll embroider the pink on if they want. These I think I'm gonna do with, oh, I already did the wrong thing. I think I'm gonna do just half double crochets on the two sides of a chain. But how long of a ear do we need? How tall are your ears? Because they fold over. Yeah, that'll work. So how many was that? 4. Oh, easy, 10. That was 10. So I'm just gonna like put 1 stitch in each chain, and then when I get to the end, I'll do like 3 or 4 stitches in that chain, and then go back down the other side. One, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, 3 works. And then I just go down the other side, and I'm actually like catching the end when I work so that I don't have to weave it in later. And I'm just gonna make like 4 of these, so like 2 in cream, 2 in the light gray. I'll embroider the details, and then I will sew the 2 halves together. Oops, made a mistake, and then I fixed it. Sew the 2 halves together, and then should be able to attach them to the head, and then attach the cheek fluffies. Is there any markings on the back of the head? No, there is not. Okay, that makes it easy for me. Okay, so here's the first one. I cut the like tail extra long because I have to both sew it to another piece and then sew it to the head. But that's a little ear piece. This is cute. I should make more bunnies. I don't actually know how many bunny fursonas I've made. I think this might be the first one because a lot of people have dogs. I've done an axolotl before. I've done, what was that? I've done like a demon creature that had 7 eyes, I think, or 6 eyes. I've done a cat. I've done a saber-toothed tiger, but that wasn't in my standard like pattern that I use. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn is splitting and I don't like it. I don't like when the yarn splits, but I do like when it like unravels on the hook. Okay, there's a second one. And then it's light gray. Light gray to make the other halves. Oh, she's knitting in this video too. The musician in the like Yellow Cherry Jam channel, I believe they're partners, but they're knitting in the video that is on right now, so that's cool. I've been knitting so many socks. I have maybe added 4 more pairs of socks to my wardrobe in the past 2 months. I just keep them in my like bag for when I leave the house, and then if I'm waiting somewhere I work on socks. It's a very good system. Sometimes working down the other side of the chain is a pain in the butt, but I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna cut that early because it's gonna run out right at the end, and that's gonna be a pain to keep up with. And then one more earpiece. Have any of you put up Christmas decorations yet? I haven't. I still have like pumpkins around my house. And our little like Halloween guard dog thing is outside still. I have to find like a different, like a fun thing to do that's wintry. Because I like wearing my sweaters and stuff, but I don't like being cold. So I have to find something fun and entertaining to do that's wintry so that I don't freeze to death. Okay. Yay, all the earpieces are done now. I just need to embroider them. So for these, I need the darker gray. And I think I'm gonna try to do longer stitches so that it's like easier to see. Where did my needle go? This is what it's like to make things. You just lose your tools constantly. Hello. Needle? Nope. 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 No needle. Well, that's an issue. Found it. It was behind their head. Okay. So it's on the outside. This is the outside and it wants to curl this way. I'm going to work with that because the character has curled ears, and I want to make this side the right side. And then I am gonna do running stitch for this area because we do want it to be kind of flat if possible, so I'm gonna just go around skipping spaces, and then when I get back around I'll go back in the spaces I skipped. Trying like really hard to make it line up the same on both sides. And again, I'm just going to tie this together on the underside so it can't come apart. And it looks like that. I'll put that with the other ones and do the last one. Oh, Sammy is sleeping on my quilt. I guess that's a good thing, but I was gonna try to work on that a little bit. So focused on I'm forgetting to talk. Feel free to ask questions if you have any. Okay, there's that. Putting the needle on his head so I know where it is. Okay, got the extra. And I'm getting my needle back from his head. And I think I'm gonna sew it on with the cream yarn. So this one curls this way, this one curls this way. So I'm gonna put them together. And I'm pretty much just gonna take the outside stitch like that to kind of help flatten the edge. Yeah, I'm trying to get some more video ideas, so if you have any, feel free to leave them in the comments. I want to do Vlogmas again. I might have to do a little bit of a late start because of MFF, but I want to try to do that again. Last year I did like one video every couple days and that worked pretty well, so I might go for that. Instead of doing one every single day, but we shall see. Who knows, maybe if I have like a very exciting day, I will make that into its own video. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the yarn attached to sew it on later, because since both sides are a different color, I'm gonna sew each side with its own color of yarn. The dog in the video is eating a stick. He's so doggy. Okay. So that one, I wanted it to go the other way. No, it's not gonna go the other way. I'm just gonna do it the same. Because that works, and I know it works. Okay. So we have 2 ears. And they're supposed to curl like that, and they do, so that's good. What did I get at the alpaca festival? I got roving to make yarn. I got other alpaca fiber that wasn't in roving form, but I already put it away. But mainly I got yarns, and a lot of these are sock yarns because I've been making socks. But yeah, this one wasn't from there. Hold on, I'm getting a call. So yeah, okay, let's get these ears attached. What do you want? Hold on. Little ears. Okay, so you need your head over here. Okay, bunny ear. Where was my picture? Okay. They're like at the top of the head. So, as opposed to the side. I'm gonna sew it on around the front. And then switch color and go to the back. And I'm actually gonna tie these here, because since we kind of want them to stick up, I think that'll help it if it's secured right next to itself. And then later I'll just bury that thread in the plushie's head. I thought the cats would be visiting us more because they were pretty energetic this morning, but they're like, nah, we want to take a nap now. This is one of those times where I'm like, I wish this needle was a little bit sharper. Because you have to like really push it to get it through the pieces. Okay. That comes out the bottom. This side comes out the bottom. And tie them together. And then guess what? We have an ear. It's cute. Okay, and I'm gonna put the other ear and then I'm gonna do the cheek fluffs. So I'm gonna start with the white again. And then I just like look at the top and see where it lines up. And then try to get it matched on the other side. Welcome back, Chelsea. Let's see. So it's about 3 from the center. And it goes about there. Okay. Sorry, I'm like out of frame. I just have to get this first positioning pretty accurate. Okay. There's that. There's that. And then I'm gonna tie them. So another way to keep track of your needle is just eat it. Okay. Okay. Up and down. To the bottom of the head. This one has to come through the bottom of the head too. Yes, you can order a plushie. Just send me an Instagram message or an email and I can get the order form to you. But just make sure you have a reference of like what you want it to look like, because this one is somebody else's character, so I can't make this one again for somebody else. Okay, where am I? Okay. My favorite plushie that I've ever made, I really liked the dragon. He was all my original design. His wings aren't the most like, they're not as stable as they could be, but I think he was a really good design experience. And then I also have a tortoise that I designed. Here's a bunny so far, by the way. I designed a tortoise that has lots of colors on it, and I really like how that one came out too. Okay, ready for cheek fluffs? So according to the reference, let me see. They're kind of the same size on the whole thing. So I'm gonna put them with the bigger one on top. Almost lost my needle again, people. You gotta keep an eye on me. I'm gonna put them maybe like a little bit in front of where the ear is. And then these are another piece where it's helpful to like tie the actual strands together on the outside of the plush and then just hide them on the inside. Like that, so they're tied. And then just thread them back through to the outside. Come on. Okay. And then they have little fluffies. I wonder if I put that a little too high. I think maybe once the head is on the body, it's gonna look more aligned. Okay. So this part is tricky too because you're working in 3D space and you're trying to make it even on both sides. So it's 3 rows down and about 1 stitch forward from the head. Let me see if that looks right. Does that look right? I think so. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then tie these together. And then sew them in. I'm surprised how fast this has gone. Which I shouldn't be because I've made these so many times, but okay, so now is the point, since I'm not really going to be sewing any, well, I'm going to sew the hair piece on. I'm just going to take the extra fluff bits and put them inside the head. Fluffy. How many plushies have I made? It's gotta be over 1,000. Because I made so many to sell, but then also just like to test patterns and stuff. And I've given a lot of plushies as gifts too, so. Bunny. Okay, let me see what I can do for hair. The hair is like the dark gray. I think the hair is gonna look best if it's in the crochet piece style, so I'm gonna try to emulate that. I'm trying to decide if I want to start with a circle or a chain. I think the chain is gonna be most like the reference picture that I have. So I'm just gonna chain like they stop right behind the ear, so I think that's a good length. And then I'm going to do a similar thing to what I did with the spikes, or like, not spikes, what are they called? The cheek fluffs. And I'm going to just make some triangles, and they're all attached onto the same chain. I think we ran out of music. Hopefully it plays another of their things after. Okay, good. I wonder if I should maybe work back down the other side of the chain too, just to like thicken it up a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I'll just do some single crochets. Okay. Now let's see. I might have to pin this on to see how well I like it, but I actually think I might add another little spike to this side. So I have like just barely enough yarn to be able to do that. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't want it to be like a little awkward thing. So it should be able to. The image, it goes that way, so I can put it on like this. And then if I had pins within reach, which I do, but I would use them for this. Do I remember the first plushie I made? Yes, it was Totoro, and I never gave it actual eyes because I didn't have the like plushie eyes in the house, so I ended up putting like earring backs in, and I was like, oh, I'll just glue some eyes to this later, and I never ended up gluing the eyes to it. Okay, needle, and then I want to attach the hair kind of like, I want it to be secure, but I don't want it to be super tight because I don't want it to be like too flat, because it's hair. It's supposed to be like 3-dimensional. So let's see. Pins out. What do we think? I don't know. I feel like I might need another little spike or something. If I bring this over here, maybe I can make one with the tail that's already attached. Oh, did I do it? I think I did it. Okay, needle. Attach. Okay, and then I'm going to connect this to the other one. And then put it on the inside of his head. Okay, and I'm going to check my checklist here in a second. Cute. Little fluffy guy. Yeah, ASOL made one of my fursuits. But yeah, little fluffy guy. I need to check my checklist. Okay, let's see. We did the ears. Yes. Add the hair floofs. Yes. Add the embroidery. Yes. Okay, so now we can sew the head on. The final time we will need the needle for this project, and where is it? Under the camera. Excuse me. I do have a pop rock plushie that I started, but I haven't finished it. Okay, so this is like what it'll look like together. And then I always start at the back or the side of the head. It makes it a little bit difficult to line stuff up, but that means that the join is not as visible because it's not on the very front of the plushie. And then once I have the head mostly attached, I'll put a little bit more stuffing to help it, you know, stay full. He's getting neck surgery to give you a neck. This is usually my favorite part too because it means I'm almost done. And the little creature is like looking at me with his big eyes and he's like, do I get to go home now? It's like, yes, you will go home soon. It's like almost closed enough to put more stuffing. I don't want to put it too soon because then you can accidentally put too much and then they end up looking like a bowling pin because their head goes way too high. Okay. We have like 6 or so more stitches. Just to make sure he's fully stuffed before he gets closed up. Okay. And then then because I can't tie this one, I'm going to weave it in, and that basically just means you sew under the stitches going that way and then this way and then that way. And that makes it so that it doesn't come undone. Then again, this is for like an adult customer, so I'm not too worried about them like pulling at it, but you still want it to be sturdy enough. Okay, let me double check my reference before we do the big reveal. We did all the circles, we did the belly, the hands are the right color, the nose and the snout and the ears go forward. Gotta like fluff up the hair a little bit, but ta-da! It's our little bunny. There we go. So yeah, I think that might be all for today's live stream. Thank you to everyone who watched, and I'm gonna send the like replay to the customer so they can see it being made, because I honestly didn't expect it to be finished today. I was gonna work on it and then take a picture and send to them, but you know, sooner is done the better. So yeah, you're a little fluffy guy. I'll see you guys in my next live stream or my next video, which comes out tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So yes, I will see you later. Goodbye.